It's going to remain cold for the rest of the week, so get used to it. Hope maybe you're not starting, but you're already prepared for the cold. But we do have our eye on the weekend ahead, and I'll share those weather details with you. It gets interesting Friday and Saturday because the next Clipper system coming in is far more powerful, perhaps, than the one that's coming in for us by tomorrow, which is really not expected to bring much. Some changes now in the model data. It doesn't appear to really be presenting us with anything but some light flurries falling through the sky. But the next one gets interesting. So it is definitely cold out there. We hit the streets to find out how people are coping with the cold.
Before.
Well, there you go. You know, following the forecast is a good thing for sure. We do have some wind chill warnings in place because the temperatures are so cold. You definitely, and did you notice the theme? A lot of people had the hoods up. That is a good idea. So I was mentioning this low pressure system coming through. It's not going to be bringing us very much in terms of snow. Some cloud cover with this, and we might see a few light flurries falling through the sky, but this is really not going to be all that impactful. There are some areas where locally we can see some excess snow, and that is just in the snow belt areas here, just on the south side of Lake Huron, 5 to 15 centimeters, very localized effect just to the west of Strathroy. In terms of the short-term forecast, that will likely bring us certainly stronger winds initially from the southwest at about 40 kilometers per hour. So now I'm looking ahead on the 7-day. Friday, driving will be a little bit slick because we'll have some snow in the area, and then it will continue for Saturday and Sunday in terms of snowfall. But notice the temperatures. It's getting a little bit better by the weekend, but I would not call this warm by any stretch of the imagination. Then it gets colder, although brighter, by the beginning part of next week. Same goes for Hamilton. Watch for some snow around the GTA on Friday this week. I hope you are properly prepared for the cold. Maybe you're dressed like he is out on the streets. If you've got to go somewhere, definitely hood up, put the balaclava on or the scarf, whatever you have handy, because we do have wind chill warnings in place from Environment Canada. Temperatures expected to stay cold even through the weekend. Although we may see the actual warning come to an end on the weekend, it's still going to be kind of a cold one. You've got to dress appropriately for the conditions as your outdoor activities as much as possible. It's not always possible for those who take transit. You've got to wait for the bus, streetcar and such. But definitely, you know, wind chill hazards are out there because you've got to dress appropriately, because look at this. Low frostbite risk with wind chills of -10 to -27, but again, it can happen within minutes. So it doesn't take long for frostbite to really set in. We're going to take a look actually at some of your did so much to that overall number. 1.7 billion of the 3.2 was from the Alberta floods back in June. The Toronto flash flood, 940 million of it, and the Ontario-Quebec summer storms from June and July of last year, 250 million. So you can see that we've contributed a fair amount to this overall 2013 record claims. Let's take a look now at our long-term forecast and what we can expect in terms of the long range. I was mentioning about the weekend, we will likely see the wind chill warnings coming to an end. However, looking at the weekend ahead, still going to be feeling like the minus teens. We'll have a little bit of snow on the way as well. Friday may be a bit more slick. Clipper system coming in with a few centimeters of snow. And well, there may be some snow coming in with our next system. There is actually right now a big winter system, a blizzard essentially, brewing off the northeastern U.S. You may have heard about it. The impact on travel is widespread now for New York and Philadelphia. It's going to be moving into the eastern provinces, and we'll probably feel an impact as well because of the flight cancellations, over 2,000 of them so far. Now, in terms of temperatures, yes, very, very cold now and right through to the weekend. And well, there you go. There you go. You got to just keep tabs on the forecast. Well, let's do that right now. Let's take a look at our short term, what you can expect. And there's enough to go around for everyone. So low pressure system in the Great Lakes region is very weak. It's actually weakening. So we're not really expecting to see much from this. We had thought maybe we'd pick up a couple centimeters, but not convinced that that will be. This is just going to likely present some light flurries falling from the sky, but it's actually a fairly weak system. The next one coming in by Friday will be far stronger, but there are some localized effects. And that is just on the south side of Lake Huron. We may pick up between 5 and 15 centimeters locally with some snow bands through those regions. But again, it's just a very localized effect. Now our attention, we have the cold. and it remains cold on Friday. It does warm up a little bit by the weekend, but still, wind chills in the minus teens. But the snowfall here from the next system coming in, that one has the potential to be stronger in terms of wind. So Friday's winds, southwest winds at say 40 kilometers per hour. And on top of that, several centimeters of snow can be a bit of a slick drive around the GTA. Doesn't take much, as we all know, to cause problems. In Hamilton, we'll watch the temperature staying cold and watch for the development of snow come Friday. Need to bundle up today. The temperatures are certainly cold, and it remains that way until we get, actually right through the weekend, in fact. So you might have to dress like this. It looks appropriate, really, for the conditions. We're going to take a look, actually, at your forecast appropriately for those types of temperatures. And the cold doesn't seem to want to let up, at least anytime soon. In terms of wind chill hazards, we've put this together to kind of give you an idea of how quickly frostbite can set in depending on the temperature range. So if the wind chill is between minus 10, minus 27, low frostbite risk, but nevertheless, it is certainly cold out there and you need to dress for the conditions. If you've got a really nice parka, just those two have contributed to over $1 billion in claims, actually. This is from the Insurance Bureau of Canada, talking about $3.2 billion in payouts in 2013 alone, which is a record. The Alberta flood took $1.7 billion of the 3.2, but you can see Toronto here had a couple of weather events that contributed greatly to that overall payout number. Let's take a look at where we are in terms of our weather. Well, we have a system, you'd hardly know it because it's very weak, moving across the Great Lakes. So with that, a little bit of flurry activity may fall from the sky. This is not really giving us much at all. Bit of a change in our forecast from that perspective. However, watch locally in the south side of Lake Huron. We may actually end up with some accumulating snow from snow squalls. However, there is another system that's going to be moving in, and that one is going to be bringing us likely a little bit more wind. Certainly by Friday, there could be between, say, 2 and 5 centimeters of snow. We'll watch that. Wind chill still cold heading into the weekend.
This one